future of women's golf takes centre stage. Welcome to the 2025 Women's Amateur Asia Pacific, where the brightest young stars of the game battle for glory on Hoi An Shores Golf Club, Vietnam. With world-class talent, rising stars, and a path to the sport's biggest stages, this is where champions are made. Get ready for 4 days of incredible competition as these elite amateurs shape the future of women's golf. The Asia Pacific Golf Confederation, in association with the R&A, is proud to bring you round 2 coverage of the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. Hello and welcome to day 2, an event that began in 2018 and has become a launchpad for the next generation of international stars. The 7th staging of the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific, and for the first time, Vietnam is the host nation. 34 players broke par yesterday. Let's check in with what's been going on so far today. Well, Janeth Wong birdied the last 3 holes yesterday for a 65. She birdied 3 of her final 4 holes this morning for a 69. And that's taken the Malaysian to the top of the leaderboard at 8 under par, but she does have company. Enjoying herself, isn't she? Alongside Jazzy Roberts at 8 under, bogeyed her first hole, the Australian, but added 4 birdies for her 68. 5 Koreans now inside the top 13, including Hong Soo-min, who is out on the course. Overnight leader Seo-Jin Park, you can see they're back at 5 under. She's just had a double bogey 7 at the par 5 7th. Scoring today, not quite as low as it was yesterday. Yoon Seo Yang, the 17-year-old Korean, with the best of the day, a bogey-free 66. I'm Richard Kaufman. Alongside me in the commentary box is former Ladies European Tour player Sophie Walker. Sophie, it's tricky out there for the players. The course maybe a little bit longer today?
I would say so, because the wind is up so early. Normally when we play links golf, you'd have it still in the morning and then the wind would come up in the afternoon. But this northwesterly from the East Sea has really picked up early.
Well, here's one player who hasn't struggled so far. 3 birdies, just a 1 drop shot, has taken the world number 9 amateur Sumino to 5 under. And I know this is a player you've watched plenty of before.
Yes, I followed her at the LPGA Tour event in Korea at the end of last year. Ball speeds of up to 150 miles an hour with her driver. Very special. Her coach, Eddie Lee, had that twinkle in his eye as if to say, I've got a good one here.
Yeah, I think when I mentioned earlier, the launch pad for the international stars of the future, Sumino certainly comes into that bracket. Currently 3 shots off the lead. And here is the overnight leader, and it's been an up and down day for Seo-Jin Park.
Yeah, she bogeyed the first hole, but will not be one of the first players to do that, but a double bogey on a par 5, which was reachable. The 9th hole playing incredibly difficult today, 3rd hardest golf hole. That's because it's into the wind.
Well, they're big fairways here at Hoi An Shores, but unfortunately Seo-Jin Park has found that wasteland down the left. We should remind everyone there are no bunkers on this golf course, but there is a lot of sand.
Yes, so there will be no rakes in the bunkers. You can ground your club, but you also have to play it as it lies. That could be a layup there on the 9th.
65 yesterday for Leon Higo. A couple of bogeys on the card and no birdie there from her. We haven't had a Korean winner yet of the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific, not had an Aussie winner either.
Well, going with my theory of yesterday, I said that we would have a different country that wins, so I'm looking good so far.
Especially with so many Koreans inside that top 13. Ariana Lau, 17-year-old from Hong Kong, like Leon Higo, shot 65 yesterday.
This one downhill, right to left. Oh, finds it. This group yesterday was hot on the golf course, and I think when you have got tough conditions, it's great if all of you are playing well. So 2 over through the opening 3 holes, but a good bounce back there on the 7th.
Yeah, they went out yesterday morning when conditions were really calm. Between the 3 of them, they only had 1 bogey. Today it's a case of well, never mind keeping the bogeys of the card. It's hard enough just to make birdies out there.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's hard to think that you didn't get the tough side of the draw, because they came out yesterday with 7 under par on the scoreboard, and they'd have thought, where's that? But hey, tomorrow morning I can go out and shoot a low number. It's just not been the case. The conditions have been remaining. It's still nearly a 2-club wind out there.
However, this is only hole number 7, and this is for birdie number 4 of the day for Sumino.
Just see the grain wanting to pull this one to the left-hand side, so keep it inside right.
No problem at all, and she is lurking. The highest ranked player in the field, remember, Rhian Maliksi, the US Women's Amateur Champion, the world number 4, pulled out yesterday after just 5 holes, so Sumino at world number 9 is the best of those in the field. And there's another feature of this golf course, these greens.
Yes, you could hit every green on this golf course and 3-putt quite comfortably. They're the size of Olympic swimming pools, some of these greens.
Yunsia Yang with that bogey-free round of 66. That's good enough to take the 17-year-old Korean into the top 10, 5 under for the day. And for the championship, Ira Nagasawa in that group, just inside the top 10 at 4 under par. And here she is at the 9th, looking to get back to where she started the day.
Outside left. But as I said, a par on this 9th hole is a decent effort. Back a hole to the par 3, 8th, playing 124 yards today, but back into left to right wind. As I mentioned, those greens are huge. Flag today, 14 on, 7 from the left-hand side. Everything folds into that pin though, so if you do happen to get the right club, you could hit it close.
There's a few choices, isn't there, for, we're going to call them pin positions, not for the flag, because we've got the lanterns, haven't we, as opposed to the flags.
Yes, we have the famous lanterns here, so it's very hard for me to see the wind direction, actually. That's why I look at them all throwing up their grass.
And if you wonder why we have the lanterns, we are very close to Hoi An, which is known as the city of lanterns. So here is the group. 3 very talented players. Ariana Lau alongside Leon Higo and Sumino. And you mentioned watching her in Korea on the LPGA Tour event, finished just outside the top 20 there last year, beating major champions and some of the LPGA's best on that leaderboard.
Yeah, she teed it up alongside Lydia Ko over the weekend, and that must have been some experience for her. I watched her in the practice rounds, and she was on a par 3 just like this one, and took the flag out, nearly got a hole-in-one and won a car.
But you told me before we came on her, she has actually had a hole-in-one?
She has had a hole-in-one last year in a pro tournament, and she won the car and gave it to her father.
Isn't that nice?
She's not old enough to drive.
Yeah, only 16, wasn't far away from threatening the hole there either. Beautiful shot from Sumino.
Ball below her feet here. It's got 170 front edge, going for a high hook. Oh, from sand to sand on 9.
Taking it on though, Leon Higo. Anywhere inside of Sumino's will do. She's managed it. Well, I think we're in for a treat with these 3. Certainly the stellar 3-ball from day 1. There have been a few bumps in the road so far in this second round, but they have kept things nice and steady after a little bit of a shaky start.
That birdie on the par 5, 7th, got her back to 1 over for the day. And this wind direction's coming from 11 o'clock, so you can play this one at the lantern. 9-9.
Well, that is on the putting surface, but not on the right level for Ariana Lau. Eight under par is the target that's been set from the players out in the morning wave. Jazzy Roberts and Janeth Wong on that mark of 8 under. Hong Soo-min out on the course, just 1 back. Seventh edition of this Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. And it's some roll call already in terms of the previous champions.
Oh, yes.
Wonderful.
Beauty.
And that is a lovely way to finish off the week.
She's found in the bottom of the cup.
Fabulous putt from the Thai player.
Best we have seen.
Got a chance. It's got a chance! All the way for Chun Wei. Yeah, a couple of Japanese, couple of Thai, couple of Chinese Taipei winners amongst the first 6 editions. Chun Wei, the winner last year at the waterside course at Siam Country Club in Pattaya. And a Galitsky winning before that. And you can see Gino Titikun, the inaugural winner, who has been all the way to world #1, and she's had a fabulous end to 2024 and a terrific start to 2025. Who's going to be the name added to that list in 2025? It's amazing thinking of the players already that have emerged from previous editions of this championship.
It is. We have major champions now in Patti Tavatanakit, Ayaka Fudaway, Yuka Sasso. We're only in the 7th edition of it. And wait until we tell you what is in store for our champion this year, because there is some incredible invites.
It is a 3rd into this par 5 for Eunsa Choi. And the Kiwi's given herself a look at her first birdie of the day. This is back at the par 3 8th, where got 2 good looks at birdie.
Lau just didn't quite get her approach shot here. She flared it up into the wind. It just came up short.
Her 4th Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. Hasn't finished outside of the top 45. 12th last year in the event in Thailand. And at the moment in a share of 6th place. Good roll from Ariana Lau. Good attempt. Now this is where the 2nd of par finished. Just had that little tuft of grass on her backswing to make it even more awkward than it was.
It is. It was a good effort actually to get that onto the green. She'd be thankful that it looked wet down there. It was almost a bit hard pan instead of the soft sand, so she could hit that like a pitch shot back into the wind. Leon Higo has just got to keep this one down the left-hand side. It will try and edge away. It's also downhill for birdie. Yeah, that's nice on the 8th hole. Short par 3, sticking it in tight and managing the greens. Fist pump for the first birdie of the day for Higo. So Sumino has never played links golf before. She only really started travelling outside of Korea last year. She will have to learn quickly though, because if she does win this, then she will be invited to play the AIG Women's Open at Royal Porthcawl, the Women's Amateur at Nairn Golf Club, so a trip to Britain, to Wales and Scotland. It'll be some more countries to tick off her list. Knows the line on this one, knows it's going to move from right to left.
Well, it's been an incredible start to this second round for Sumino. And there is another 5 birdies on a day where most in the field are struggling to find 1 or 2, and she's only played 8 holes and rocketed herself within 1 of the lead.
On the birdie train, 3 in a row.
Looking very cool about it as well. Singapore's Xingtong Chen at the par 5 10th.
Controlling it nicely into there.
And on course to make the cut for the very first time in what is her 4th attempt. When she was 13, she played in this event in 2022 and missed the cut by 1 shot. At the moment, 1 under. I think that must have been her 3rd shot into that par 5. So par putt for the overnight leader, Seo Jin Park.
Hit it left on the off the tee, came out of the bunker into the waste bunker on the right-hand side of this green. Now faces this downhill left to righter to save par.
So she is going to slip back to 4 under par. What are the chances, you think, of Seo Jin Park playing with Seo Jin Park tomorrow? Because this Seo Jin Park's at 4 under, the other one is at 3 under par.
Oh, wish us luck, everybody. 9th hole, back up towards the clubhouse, 402 yards. Wind from right to left, which does bring the sand into play down this left-hand side. It's 265 yards to carry it, so that will not be on. Then you hit up to a raised green. The flag today at the back and in the middle, and everything falls here from left to right. So if you miss this green to the right, you have to chip back up onto that tabletop, and it's a very difficult up and down.
So 9th tee.
Just sit back and watch this swing. An aggressive player, but the lines of it are bang on. Send it down the right-hand side with driver.
Yeah, she did play in Thailand last year, finished in a share of 26th place, opened up with a 75, which kind of made it in terms of trying to play catch-up.
Ursa Choi, birdie put on 7, making the most of these par 5s.
Leon Higo already hit her tee shot, now Ariana Lau.
What you can see with these tee boxes, you see how they're not flat. So what the course designer did, Robert Trent Jones Jr. is he just said, I'm just going to lay the grass over the land. So it's an unusual feature. That ball was quite significantly above her feet, especially for a tee box.
Aina Fujimoto, who was one of those in the field, got off to a shaky start. She was 3 over par for the day through 3 holes, but she's turned it around nicely since then.
I feel today the back 9 is where you're going to get your scores early on. The first 6 holes of the back nine. Most of them are downwind, or at least helping in some way.
Two Korean players out of the course within one of the lead. Seojin Park, there you can see it 5 under par, but it's going to drop at least 1 at the 9th. We're watching Leon Higo, Ariana Lau and Sumino all playing together, all inside that top 10. A couple of players we saw yesterday, like Pimada or Wangtana Vimok, rounded 71 yesterday. The top 50 make the cut, so there is a cut line today. At the moment, that sits at 3 over par. Ko Kurobayashi on this par 3 8th. The 19-year-old who was the Women's Australian Master of the Amateurs winner at the start of the year, which is a big event in Australia.
Very nicely done. That is how you start your back nine. Birdie on the 10th hole.
Yeah, look at that recovery after being 3 over through 3. Now back to level par for the day. You can see from the trees behind just how much the wind is whipping off the eastern sea. It's a bit of a wide from Eunse Choi.
Yes, it's whipping that way as well, so if you don't quite stay in that shot and keep the club face square, the wind will gather it from left to right and leave yourself a lengthy birdie pot.
Hole further up to this par 4 9th, 402 yards today.
And look at that, you've got to get the metal work out, playing straight back into the wind. Superb effort there, finding the putting surface. It's a long putt, but it's almost like a par 5 this today.
Shin Tong Chen. Oh, lips out. Look how it's just run on as well. 16-year-old will have to settle for a par at best. Now Lau at 9.
Aggressive swing, look at the rotation through the golf ball there. Oh, it's unlucky just to stick into that upslope. Another couple of yards, it was gathered down the valley and closer to the flag.
Well, the expectations are high, Sophie, given what we've seen so far from Sumino.
Already top 10 player in the world. The World Junior Girls Championship was in Canada. It's a team event, but there's an individual side to it in terms of scoring, and she won that, and she won it by 6. So that just shows the caliber of player that we're watching now. Going with an iron, wants to take the flight down on this one, play it back in the stance. Can she get it back to that pin? Of course she can. On a roll at the moment.
Yeah, she's looking to try and make it 4 birdies in a row. 5 birdies already on this front 9. She birdied 2, 3, dropped a shot at 5, but got things back with that at 6. Started the day at 3 under par.
And then the par 5, 7th, 524 yards. She's green high into, cozies that one up there.
Yeah, then off to the par 3 8th, and confidence is high, and when you're as good as she is, That's a very nice mix to have.
Her proximity to the hole excellent on those 3 holes that she's made birdie on, and then walking down the 9th hole. There won't be many players that will hit it as close as she did there, and also hit an iron into this long par 4.
16 years of age, and apparently maybe not quite as good as her golf, but her dancing is pretty nifty too. Known for her dancing skills as well as her golf ones.
Well, she's got good rhythm. How about this for a putt? Up and over, now downhill, snapping from left to right.
And a really good example of, it's all very well being on the greens, but you need to be on the right levels. Easier said than done from these rolling fairways.
Downwind par 5, Sophie Han. Well, eagle opportunity to come. It just shows, I'm saying, how hard the 9th hole is, but then the 10th hole is easier, so you're looking at playing those 9 shots. Definitely not 10 shots, else you'll be losing on the field.
Well, the greens are huge. This one at 9 is nearly, what, 56 yards or 52 yards in length. Most of it's going to have to be dealt with here by Ariana Lau.
Yeah, and to work that out, you're thinking 10 yards for every club you hit. We've got 5 clubs, basically, that start at the front of this green and work their way back to the 9th. And with it being so into the wind, as I say, anything on the putting surface was a good effort. You kind of want to be going second here on this putt. Ego is the guinea pig.
Hong Sumino, one off the lead, 1 birdie, all the rest pars so far today, and a chance maybe to join the leaders if she can get up and down here.
Oh, she had the angle, just missed the landing spot by a yard or 2. Still, birdie chance to come.
How has that stayed out? That's defying gravity.
Ariana, make sure you hit this one.
Well, that's wonderful, but as you said, she had that advantage of learning off what Leanne Higo's putt did. Made the most of it, though. Ying Shu, just off the back of a birdie at 6. That was her full shot, so hopefully escape with a par. The Chinese player stays at -2. Yeah, not had a Chinese winner of the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. The latest winner in the men's side was Wen Yiding, who actually is leading the latest DP World Tour event now that he's turned professional, leading in South Africa. So we talk about the talent on the women's side coming out of these events. It's the same on the men's side as well.
I've been amazed by the women's amateur Asia Pacific standard of golf over the last couple of years that I have covered it. What's great about these events is that, yes, the opportunities that they get, but also for us to watch what's coming through the next generation. This one for birdie, a couple of cups from left to right for O.
Well, the birdie run stops there, but it's been a fantastic front 9, out in 32 for Sumino.
Nagasawa missing a par putt there, and it's a hole that many players are taking advantage of.
There's some young and there's some not so young in the field. 56-year-old Nadine Goal here, who's hovering around the cut line at 6 over par. She actually has been a professional player. More on her in a moment. And that's going to be a drop shot, unfortunately, for Higo. Out in 38 for her. Not so many times you see a smile as wide as that after 3 putting for a bogey.
Downhill, right to left putt for Eagle. For birdie, apologies.
Yeah, Sophie Han, who finished 3rd in this event a few years ago. That was to join the leaders for Hong Soo-min. Not to be. So the 2 Koreans remain 1 back of Jazzy Roberts and Janeth Wong. Excellent 2-putt from Ariana Lau. So she is out in 37. The water's choppy on the Eastern Sea that flanks this Hoi An Shores Golf Club in Vietnam on the eastern coast. Overnight leader there, Seo Jin Park in the group, just inside the top 10 now at 4 under par. Well, it's been great to be in Vietnam for the first time for this Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. The general manager at Hoi An Shores is Wee Peng Seong.
We are not a very old golf course. We are only about 5 years old. So being able to be selected to host such an event it's an honor for us. When we built this golf course, we are the first in Southeast Asia to adopt the GEO golf course construction principles, for sustainability. So if you look around, we hardly use any plastic. If you look at the tee boxes, they are not flat because it follows the natural contour of the land. It's an integrated resort. We have a beach club, we have pickleball, and we have every other kind of entertainment that you can think of. A golf club just adds to that, especially being a top 100 golf course in the world, the golf population in Southeast Asia will flock here. This is a links golf course. Predominantly is situated next to the sea, so you have the windswept sand dunes and all that. So we just shape them and we grass them. I would say probably number 17. If you play it in the morning, you can see the Charm Islands, just like in Turnberry, you can see the Ilse. In the evening, the sun sets there, so it's a beautiful place to take a picture. And then you right into the sunset on 18. So I would say 17 is one of the signature holes.
What a wonderful setting for this 7th edition of the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. We're just south of Hoi An in a fishing village. In fact, this golf course is built on a former fish farm. Playing just over 6,300 yards, a par 71. Tiff Eagle Bermuda greens. Xeon Zoysia fairways. And on the tee at 8 is Hong Soo-min.
Hong Soo-min just 1 back now of the lead. 8th hole par 3, 126 yards it's playing today, back into a left to right wind. Well, she's already had one birdie today. I think we're going to see the other one there, an 8.
Well, what a wonderful tee shot, which will take her to the top of the leaderboard alongside Jazzy Robertson, Jineeth Wong. '18-year-old, part of this really strong Korean 6 that have turned up here at Vietnam.
Just hits a draw into that left to right wind. That's why it comes down so softly, and a kicking birdie to come.
Over at the 11th hole. And Fujimoto, who's been on a really nice run, look to continue it there. 3 birdies in her previous 5 holes coming to this 11th. She's seen a bit of this sand, hasn't she, so far this afternoon, Seojin Park? And she's seen a little bit more of it there.
Yeah, she is finding out what saves this golf course, what protects it from the players. If you aren't hitting these fairways, we saw it on 9 and then down 10. She's gone from sand to sand. You see her looking up at the sky thinking, oh no, just such a good round yesterday, it's all coming undone.
This is for birdie for Chen, and one that she makes. A spring in the step now from Jingtong, comfortably inside the cut line, 2 under par. The cut probably at the moment 3 over. You wouldn't be surprised to see it drift a little bit more from that.
Especially with these conditions here. 4th shot now. Okay, chance to escape with a 5.
Yeah, yesterday could hardly put a foot wrong. She actually bogeyed her final hole to shoot that round of 64 in what is her Women's Amateur Asia Pacific debut. 6 birdies and an eagle. Although you think with a score like that, you'd be ultimately happy. She said the round went 80% as planned. Today, I would say it's all below 50. And here's a Korean player who, though, is on the up. This to join the leaders at 8 under par for Sumino. No problem at all.
Yeah, we're looking at a high caliber player, was part of the World Girls Amateur winning team in Canada. There's only 3 of them in that team, and well, Sumino was one of them. That is the caliber that you need to play in order to be in those teams for Korea.
Jingsu Chen. This is out on her birdie attempt. Wrong side of the cut line right now at 5 over par. Yingshu now at the par 3/8.
You have to have the first hole and the 9th hole on your mind when you're playing this course this way round, because they're the 2 that are going to be hard. So it's like, oh, if I didn't make birdie at 7 and I didn't make it at 8, the chances of making one at 9 are slim. However, you could see one right now. I'll take your par and run.
Major Ren just coming up a little short. Player who has already won a professional event in her homeland of China on the CLPGA Tour. Playing with the the leader from yesterday, Seojin Park. Was leading the way for the home representatives yesterday, An Lei-chuk, but has had a couple of double bogeys on the card today. Still the right side of the cut line. No Vietnamese players finished in the top 50 of this event. Back in front of the clubhouse at the 10th. Sumino launches another. Keep on running.
And now she is in range to reach this par 5 in 2.
Well, here's a look from above at this par 5 to start the back 9.
543 yards. The wind is down from the left-hand side and the fast track is down that left. And it turns back from right to left. Here's your layup zone. I don't think Sumino will be looking at that. However, look how tight it gets in and around the green. We saw our overnight leader in the trap down that right-hand side. So keep it down the left. We've got a step to this green. Everything feeds towards the flag on the right-hand side. So if you do pick your layup number, it's easy to get it close. But with this wind direction, you've got to think you could sneak it on into Lauer driver.
That clubhouse, I mean, it's enormous. 6,000 metres squared is that clubhouse.
It's probably all these greens added together, isn't it, as well?
I wouldn't want to be in charge of cleaning, though.
But you struggle to get Wi-Fi everywhere, don't you? Imagine all the hubs when all the players are in there.
Three-way tie right now. Hong Soo-min joining Jazzy Roberts and Janeth Wong out on the course at 8 under par. Compatriot Sumino lurking just a shot behind, playing with Ariana Lau, who's firmly ensconced inside that top 10. Krichania with a nice follow-up to yesterday's effort. Krichana Kalpatanakskun with around a 70 today. 4 birdies and 3 bogeys on the card for the Thai player.
Look how heavy the wind is from right to left here. Park is aiming at the right edge of this huge fairway. 3 wood keeps you short of a bunker that sits at 245.
She's in the wasteland bunker once again. It's that kind of day. All the good work of yesterday being undone. Look at the skirt flapping here. It just gives you an idea how strong the breeze is as Iwanaga makes her 4 at the par 5 7th. First birdie of the day for her. It must be a little bit of a shock to the system just seeing Iwanaga hold out for birdie, first birdie of the day. Yesterday, bogey free 65. It must feel like they're playing a completely different golf course.
No, I actually think they're playing the same golf course. I think they're playing the same golf course as yesterday, but it just highlights how good that first round was. And I think you come out in the morning, have a good night's sleep, you get on the practice ground and the wind's blowing and you're thinking to yourself, no, that's not supposed to happen. It's supposed to be a lot easier now, and it can be quite hard to get back into a mindset. And yesterday would have been tiring out there on the golf course, so you got 2 rounds in the best part of 24 hours. There's no way they thought it would be harder this morning than yesterday afternoon, and their mindset is in that way as well.
This is at the 12th hole. Aina Fujimoto, the 18-year-old from Japan, is really unlucky.
I think if the pin was out there, that would have dropped. She just didn't need me to say that though, did she? She knows.
Back at the par 3, 8th. 16-year-old from Japan, Anna Iwanaga. The low amateur at the Japan Open.
There's only 5 holes playing under par today, and the 8th is one of them. Well, a drive of nearly 300 yards for Sumino. That's par 5, 543. Just wants to take it down the left-hand side here. Oh, went for the high cut. She is an aggressive player, but that's not the easiest leave.
Well, no, she's short side, isn't she? And I'm not sure how she's going to play that next one. Does she bump and run it? Does she putt it? We have that to look forward to in a moment or two. But we've been talking about the flags or the lanterns that are on the golf course. And the reason why we have them is because we are close to Hoi An, and that is known as the City of Lanterns. And the lanterns in the city have different meaning depending on their colour. And red lanterns, for example, which we can see on the golf course, they represent fortune and wealth. Lovely feature here at Hoi An Shores. Although they don't really help you in terms of suggesting where the wind's coming from, but I think today's fairly obvious.
Yeah, well, it's coming from the sea, but you are right. It's something that you can't see. We're lucky on this golf course because it's coastal. We don't have switching of winds like you would in a tree-lined golf course.
Yeah, Hoi An Shores on the east coast of Vietnam. First time that Vietnam has hosted this Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. Things starting to take shape on what is a very shapely links type layout. It's on a sand-based turf. We've seen it. It does play fairly firm and fast.
Uphill third shot here for Higo. Must carry it 16 yards from the front edge to carry the sand on the right-hand side.
Well, in our Seojin Park watch, as we see her here at 11, both she and her namesake Seojin Park are on the same score at 3 under par. So the chances of them playing together tomorrow have increased.
Great job there. Did really well to keep her balance on that upslope.
Yeah, a little break for her there to not be up against the face of that bunker. That's nicely judged from Ariana Lau. It'll be interesting to see what Sumino does in a moment or two here. Yeah, a little bit of a swinger right to left for Iwanaga. Player who was a runner-up at the RNA Junior Open last year. Great experience for the players to be able to travel around the world. Different elements, different types of golf courses. And I don't suppose you get too many shots like this in Korea.
I don't think she expected to use her laser for her third shot. Has grabbed the lob wedge. Now the fact that this is into the wind, that will help her. She's going to have a nice visual there of what she has to face. Just wants to keep it in the back bowl where this flag is sat. It's got 11 yards of green to work with from the back edge. And once it's on the putting surface, it'll move from right to left.
She got the grab. That's really nicely played. Well, aggressive with the second. And the third has given herself a good birdie look. This for the outright lead.
There's an incredible shot in there. Just didn't quite send that ball high enough.
No drop shots on the card from her today. Just the one yesterday, which came at the 15th hole. And 4 players were bogey-free yesterday. Game number 20 with An Le Chuk representing the host nation. Seojin Park, the overnight leader, alongside Ching Su Chen of Chinese Taipei. Just needs a little pick-me-up, doesn't she, Seojin Park?
Needs some positivity with the long game, but that can filter through if this putt drops from left to right, downhill.
And look at it chase on. That is going to be a real tester back for her par. And maybe that's just a little bit of the impatience seeping through, you know, desperate to try and get back and making birdies. And
also an aggressive play. Look, you only have kind of so much concentration, brain capacity out there, and what you're trying to do is limit the mistakes so you're not wearing away at all that thought process. So putts like that chase by, it's just another area that's going to, not quite, that just take away a bit of energy from you. You get more and more tired and frustrated, and the mistakes just keep coming through.
well, the good news for Leon Higo is there's 3 par 3s on this back 9. She's 4 under for the par 3 so far this week. She had 3 yesterday. She's had 1 out of 1 so far today. She birdied the 8th. That's why it's a par 71, out in 36, back in 35. So we've got 3 at 8 under par. Sumino here with the opportunity to make it 4 at the top.
Before entering this week, her key focus was on her short game. So played a lovely pitch shot to leave herself below the flag here. An easier putt, it'll just shift from right to left.
Yeah, the Korean national team have spent much of 2025 in Thailand, in a training camp. Some of the professional players as well as the amateur players up at 6 o'clock every morning. It's not just about the golf, it's about fitness as well. never in doubt. This has been some performance so far from Sumino, and she does join the other three in the lead at 8 under.
To make 6 birdies today, never mind through 10, is exceptional golf. There'll be a few players out there thinking, what golf course were you playing today? Oh, we like this putt. Come down. Look at that. Welcome to Hoiana Shores.
Yeah, just gone 6-6 as well, Nagasawa. Last putt she needed. So after steaming that first putt past Park, is to stay at 3 under.
Could be exactly what she needed there. A positive putt. Now just needs to find a fairway off the tee.
Also with one back for Lau. That was not her smoothest stroke. Well, there you go. Jazzy Robertson, Jineth Wong have been done for a couple of hours now after their 69 and 68s respectively, but they've been joined by the 2 Koreans, Oh and Sumin, on that mark of 8 under par. Ariana Lau, we just saw miss that putt, so she will drop back alongside Leon Higo on that mark of 4 under par. Asharai Swiwong finished 3rd last year, alongside her compatriots Pimpisa Rubrong and Pimada Wongtanavimok at 3 under. Another couple of Koreans there, the 2 Seojin Parks. It's a really tough start to the day for India's number 1, Manat Brar. She started double bogey, but she has played 1 under par since then. Should say she started double bogey, triple bogey, actually.
Now tied for the lead. 3 wood down the right-hand side here. The run out 2.45 in the distance.
Yeah, short par 4 this one.
Just manoeuvres itself around a very large waste area on that left-hand side. This waste area is over 100 yards. That's where it nips in. Driver, if you turned it, you'd find that sand. So taking 3 wood down the right-hand side, that wind is from right to left. And then a green that sits across you. The flag 18 on, 9 from the left-hand side. Anything right of that flag will just seep down into a valley and move further away from the hole. So it's right half off the tee, left half with your approach. Settle. Oh, that's the turn. Taking driver and then just closing that club face and the wind whipping across.
Aina Fujimoto over at 13.
Also going with driver. Maybe the fact we've just seen a 3-putt. The aggressive line.
A reminder that there are life-changing opportunities for the champion this week. 4 players tied at 8 under par. The winner gets entry into 3 of the year's majors: the AIG Women's Open at Royal Porthcawl, the Chevron Championship in Texas, and the Evian Championship on the shores of Lake Geneva, plus a couple of other professional events, the ISPS Handau Australian Open, the Hana Financial Group Championship in Korea, and not forgetting a chance to tee it up at Augusta National for those not already in. Anwar awaits, along with the women's amateur, the 122nd staging at Nairn, and a point towards the LPGA LEAP pathway, as it's known.
I can guarantee you, if you win this event this year, this will be the best golfing year of your life. Amateur golf is always the highlight, but getting to play in those massive championships, traveling the world at that age, oh, I'm jealous.
Yeah, and some very different tests as well, you know, from Augusta to Royal Porthcawl and Nairn and Chevron Championship in Texas, and then, you know, the test that Evian brings as well.
Yeah, but just think of the practice rounds, who you could put your name down next to. I'm sure Ko would be thinking, oh, Yaka Food away. I'd like to play alongside you in a practice round at Evian, the champion of last year.
Well, it wasn't long ago then Ayaka Fudue was teeing it up in this very event. Now a major champion, top 10 in the world. It's funny, Seo Park was asked yesterday about that, and she said that the one she wants to play most is Evian, and then threw in that, well, Paris was on her mind as well. She thought, maybe I can get a trip to Paris while I'm there. It is a fair distance.
Yeah, don't fly into Paris. Fly into Geneva. I don't know. Once you get to Evian, though, you might never want to leave it.
Yeah. Also, by the shores, different shores, the Eastern Sea we have here to Lake Geneva, or Lake Le Mans, as they called it in France.
Welcome to the hardest hole on the golf course. 178 yards. Back into a stiff wind. This will be the longest iron in the bag here, playing over half a shot over its par.
Yeah, I don't think Paris is on her mind right now.
Sounding good. Come down. Pure strike, that one, and that could be the settler that she needs.
Yeah, you mentioned the putt at the last, you know, chance to walk to the next tee, give yourself a little talking to. You know, you're 2 under par, you're certainly not out of things, even though it's been a difficult day. And Sumino just going from strength to strength.
Just smoothing a wedge in there, trying to catch that down slope on that right to left, missed the landing area.
Fujimoto. Yeah, pick it out of the hole.
There's a putting stroke. See the positivity in it. Nice bounce back. Now pushed it off the tee with driver, got it down there, so he's got 100 yards to the front edge, pins on 18. Go after this one.
See, she's got her mum on the bag there, watching that one intently. Yeah, some of the players, that might come down off that slope, actually. It might get a lot better. Yeah, some of the players have got some of the local caddies here. Some have brought parents or coaches to be on their bag. Nice experience for Ariana, having her mum Athena alongside her.
Did find the sand inside 100 yards here for Leon. Great result. So we've got 3 birdie chances to come on the 11th hole.
With her compatriot Jazzy Roberts up the top. You just wonder whether 8 under par will be leading at the end of the day, particularly the way that Hong Soo-min and Sumino are going, particularly the latter there. 66 is the low round of the day, Yun Seo Yang, but is already 5 under par for the day. That's how things stand right now. Day 2 of this Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. Yeah, obviously on day 2, keeping an eye on the cut line. Still at 3 over par. "93 players in the field. 24 countries and territories represented. Very picturesque hole. Well, it's not just been about the golf this week. Some of the players have managed to enjoy themselves and before the tournament started and have some fun on the river boats. Yeah, the players before the week started at Hoi An decided to take a trip down the river. And it was all rather genteel and fun and smooth. Plain sailing, you might call it. But then, well, this happened. I feel dizzy watching it.
It's like going down the rapids, isn't it? Oh, hold on.
I suppose when you're that age, you can cope with it all right. And then that trophy, just teasing them.
No, it's great, isn't it? They come into Vietnam and they're seeing the local culture as well. It's not all about the golf. However, I think I would have just watched that one. Watch my competitors get their head in a spin.
Well, it's a wonderful part of the world to be in, and you know, you've got 2 UNESCO World Heritage Sites not far away from here, Hoi An, the ancient town itself, and the Mae Sun Sanctuary as well. Well, here we go again. Another hole, another birdie putt for Sumino.
Has to be careful with this one. It's downhill. And it's quick from left to right. We saw Park chase it past.
Thought there was another coming there. Yeah, about 3-4 feet out, you thought this one's heading into the hole again. Maybe just a little bit too much pace on it to allow it to take that break.
That was for 5 birdies in 6 holes for our joint leader, Sumino. It's quite a heavy break from back to front here on the 11th green. Ariana Lau will have to negotiate that. She's looking at least 2 cups here from left to right. Off the back of a 3-putt. There's a chance to get to 5 under.
This is over at the 12th. Lovely tee shot from Seojin Park. This would be worth a lot to her. This for a birdie 2.
Seojin Park, that deserves a clap because there's been some fighting out there around the turn and this round could have got away from her. However, 3rd birdie of today, and there looks to be a spring in the step now. We saw the putt on the last hole for par and we wondered how that would change the mindset. Walking it in for birdie. Business has resumed as usual. Right then, here you go. It's left to right, but maybe not quite as much as we all thought.
One of our 4 leaders, one of the 2 out on the course, Sumin at 10.
to take advantage of the par 5s today, the 7th and the 10th hole, because this course is not giving you much.
No problem at all, so remains at 8 under par. There she is on that mark of -8. Jian Lin, just 14 years of age, player from Chinese Taipei with a 69 today. 66 has been the best so far we've seen. That came this morning from Yun Yang. 3 Koreans there inside that top 6. Seojin Park back inside the top 10 with that birdie at 12. The namesake, and maybe the better known of the two amateurs, Seojin Park, that you can see there, is ranked inside the top 70 of the world.
Sophie Han looking to get it to level par. Oh, yes. Right into the back of the cup. Yeah, you might have hit it too hard, but the hole got in the way.
Who has the best ever result from a Hong Kong player at the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific when she finished 3rd in 2023.
I wish we could see her eyes under these sunglasses. The thought of I've hit this too hard and then into the backboard. Hardest hole on the golf course today, playing at least half a shot over its par. Back towards the clubhouse, it's 178 yards, so it's playing nearly 200 yards with the into from right to left wind direction. The flag sits 29 and centre.
Well, she's already well known back home, Sumino. The first event of the KLPGA season last year, she actually led through 3 rounds and was on course to become the youngest winner on the KLPGA, which, given the talent that has come through on that tour, would have been some achievement. Didn't see it through in the final round, finished 3rd in the end. But well, that certainly made her sort of hit the headlines. And then she went on and had this wonderful 2024, which you mentioned. She won that event in Canada, streets ahead of everyone else, but won some other really big events in the amateur circuit as well. So no surprise to see her where she is right now amongst the leaders.
5 iron here, start at right edge of the green.
So, Sumin safely on the green at 12. From Sumin to Sumin at 10.
Downhill, right to left.
And into the outright lead at 9 under par. Sumin Hong, with 3 unanswered birdies, leads the way. I think starting, you feel, to take shape now. You know, yesterday, you know, given the sort of advantage morning compared to afternoon, hard to see how exactly the day panned out, but 1 or 2 contenders coming through.
I made the same mistake there as Sumino. It's because you're hitting into the wind to start with. We can see the flags at the back of the green moving from right to left, but the first 2/3 of this flight is back into some wind, so you do need to club up.
Ren. Oh, he's got that one dancing around the lantern.
Off the back of that birdie on 13, Sophie Han. Short par 3, 112 yards downwind, just a flick with a wedge. Wonderful golf shot.
Yeah, 4 players in the field for the 5th time. One of them, unfortunately, Rhian Maliksi, I'm sure you're aware, unable to carry on yesterday, but it's the player now with Maliksi's absence who has emerged as the best ranked player in the world. Seojin Park had a difficult day, but that was certainly what she needed, that birdie at 12.
Ariana Lau started with 2 bogeys in her opening 3 holes, bounced back with this birdie on 7. Unfortunately, she bogeyed 10, so she's 2 over par for her round.
Yeah, Sumino has been the star of the day, really. I mean, on a day where birdies have been hard to come by, that's not been the case for her.
This up and down on 7 was her 4th birdie of the day. She did have a bogey, so she was 3 under par at this point.
Yeah, she's used to being in the spotlight. Winner of 5 World Amateur Golf Ranking events in 2024. Some big events amongst them, but this would be the biggest. Just carried on making birdie after birdie. Number 6 of the day, took her at the time into a share of the lead at 8 under par, but her compatriot, well, has usurped her at the top.
Sumin Hong birdied the 3rd. This was her approach to the 8th hole. Nearly making a 1, but it was a 2, so she went out in 2 under par, tied for the lead at -8.
And the 18-year-old making her women's amateur Asia Pacific debut, hit the top on her own with that putt at the 10th. Could have taken the putter out here, but deciding to chip this one, Leon Higo.
Oh, it's hit the lantern. That's incredible there. It's broken the lantern, but it's nearly got in for a 1. Wow.
I'm sure they've got some spares. Yeah, you're never sure how that's going to ricochet, but that's actually worked out really well.
It was like a basketball net, wasn't it? How
Yeah.
it just gathered it up.
Sumino now with a lengthy birdie putt at this par 3.
Plenty of break on it. This would be a good 2-putt.
Well, she had other things on her mind, but that is charge past. One drop shot today, it came at a par 3, the 5th hole. That's a Choi, the Kiwi, at 11. Very nicely done. So she's up to 3 under par now. Aina Nagasawa with a nice break, really, you have to say.
Well,
take.
that's something to talk about in the clubhouse. I bet they've mentioned it on the practice rounds. Well, what happens if you hit one? And I mean, that shot in there actually went in the lantern and then kind of broke out of it, didn't it?
What would happen if it stayed in there?
No idea.
Never.
I'm happy to say that. I've got no
Well, there's
idea.
not too many golf courses where you have lanterns. And we got Merion, you got the baskets as well, and people often ask, why do they have those at Merion? And no one actually knows the reason why it started there. There's no official reason for that. Ijaren played a beautiful shot in here. She gets her reward, gets herself back to level par. One of a number of really good, talented young Chinese players that already won professional events on the China LPGA.
Sophie Han also with a birdie there, so back to back.
And she gets to 1 under par now.
Ariana Lau has got this left for par, just never sent that first putt high enough from right to left. This one back down the slope. That moves her to 3 over par for her round.
Seojin Park over at 13, beautiful birdie at 12, and not to be in terms of another at 13. The other Seojin Park is at 3 under par. Well, she's been the queen of the par 3s so far. 4 birdies, no drop shots, and she escapes nicely with one there. She's got this lovely, cheery demeanour, hasn't she, Leon? Here you go.
It's got to help, hasn't it, when it's a tough day out there, windy conditions, just to give yourself a break, I suppose, and not get down on yourself. Taught by Josh Smith up at Emerald Lakes in the Gold Coast. We wish everybody well up there and safe as well. They've got a cyclone hitting that east coast of Australia at the moment.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a Ladies European Tour event this week, but it had to be cancelled.
Now, this first putt sailed past the hole. She's only made 1 bogey today. How well you're playing, this would be a real speed bump in your round of golf to have a 3-putt.
Wow, paying the price for being a little bit too aggressive, so she'll slip back to 7 under par.
Assuming with a wedge into 11, she's got a chance to get to double figures.
Now for the 4. Sumino, one of the players in the field who's already qualified for next month's Augusta National Women's Amateur. When I say qualify, she got the invitation, I should say, to get the terminology right.
It's like the big card, isn't it?
Yeah.
That opens up and you see it all over the players' Instagrams, from the top men in the world of professional golf to these amateur women. It's the golden ticket.
Yeah, Ariana Lau and Riyad Maliksi are amongst those already heading that way as well. Well, Hong Soo-min with a really good chance to get to double figures under par with a birdie attempt to come at 11. Quartet of Japanese players there on that mark at 2 under. Really, really impressive fight back from Manit Bra. Jinghan Tui, we saw plenty of her yesterday. 70 on day one, part 71 today from the Chinese player.
13th hole, par 4, 408 yards and downwind from the left-hand side. If you can negotiate those bunkers, you could carry the one on the right today, so that's not a bad option to take. The pin is at the back left, 37 on, 10 from the left-hand side. Playing under par.
Yeah, the Leon Higo's already teed off here. It's Ariana Lau to go next. The Asia Pacific Golf Confederation Girls Junior Champion, not just in 2023, but last year as well. We talked about Sumino's dancing skills. Well, Ariana likes to wind down by composing music. She plays the piano, the cello, does a bit of singing as well.
We could have a band here.
We could. I don't know how much chat there's going on, but you know, Ariana can hum it or sing it, and Sumin can do some dance grooves.
Leon, what are you bringing to the party?
The smile. Very tall, isn't she? Even for 16.
Wants to take this at the edge of the left waist bunker. It's 303 yards on that line, and then the wind will move it from left to right. Driver throw.
No need to watch that one. That was long and straight. And look how close she's got to the green here at this par 4. Playing with the leader, Xu, at 11. Xu just dropped a shot at 10, 6 there. And she's at 1 under par. They're playing with the veteran Nadine Goal.
Gap wedge here, 112 yards, straight downwind, playing more like 95. Come on. There looks of positivity in this game now, doesn't it? That the head was looking up thinking, oh no, early on. Hong Sumin to get to 10. Oh, there's a chance. Maybe a slight misread.
Well, yesterday just the one drop shot in a round of 65. No bogeys so far through 11 holes, but so easily could have been a 4th birdie of the day there for Hong Sumin, 18-year-old Korean. One ahead now of Jazzy Roberts and Janeth Wong, who finished earlier on today. Janeth Wong with 3 birdies in her last 4 holes. Yesterday she finished with 3 birdies in a row. All these players, though, very much in the mix. 4 rounds around Hoi An Shores. And there's 1 or 2 players there like Sophie Han and Asharai Sriwong, who we've seen contending for this championship before. This is the player they're trying to catch right now. Photographic evidence of the damage.
No, I think that's the new one, isn't it? Fix.
Well, it's either that, there's been a bit of DIY done. 10 referees here this week. 8 guests, 2 from the RNA. And this year there are 2 female refs from Mongolia for the first time.
This is 12th down the left-hand side. Oh, that's cultured. Very nice. It's part of an initiative that the RNA are doing here in sense of growing the game and getting more countries involved, never mind with the players, but also with the staff as well. Leon Higo, 2nd to the 13th. Using the slopes and using the wind as well. Downwind shots, you know it's going to release. She will not be able to see how good this is. The bunker blocking it. It'll nudge off the cushion and then curls its way around.
Well, I was going to say no doubt she'll be smiling when she gets up there and see it, but I think she'd be smiling anyway, given what we've seen. Lau would love something similar.
Had the line, didn't it?
Yeah, just took that firm bounce. Might come back down off the slope, and that's exactly what it's done.
Well, one of them will be playing, well, more than one, but if you do win this, we'll be playing Augusta National in a couple of weeks, and you'll need to play shots like that.
And Lei Chuk from Vietnam, right side of the cut line. Very firmly the right side of the cut line. Plenty of support out there for her. Back-to-back birdies. Looking up again. It's important, isn't it? The host nation has 1 or 2 players fighting up there.
Well, a drive of 300 yards. Inside 100 left here for O into 13. Click of the fingers and the ball responded.
Yeah, at the moment, An Lei Chuk is the only one of the 6 Vietnamese players who is the right side of that cut line. Seojun Park. Chance to pick up another birdie too.
Downhill, right to left.
Man, that was close.
It looked like being first round leader maybe weighed heavily on Seojun Park, but now she's out there playing golf, she's kind of forgotten the position that she was in.
Just put the indicator on.
So sorry.
And what do you do there?
Needs the handbrake on, doesn't it now? It's one of those putts that you think, oh, well, I must have hit it high enough. My back is towards that lantern.
Sophie robbed. You've heard that a few times, haven't you?
Story of my career too, Sophie. Hopefully you have better luck. 13, 14 and 15 are under par, so there's a little run in there that actually Sophie has made the most of, where you can just get your own back on the golf course.
Yeah, and 18 has played the sort of most scoreable hole of the week as well, so there are opportunities to come for these players out there.
This is the first one here on the 13th. Everything funnels into this flag. Ariana Lau first to play out of this 3-ball. Not a whole lot of break in this.
found it hard to get that forward momentum today. The 17-year-old from Hong Kong. Fourth attempt playing at this Women's Amateur Asia Pacific, just outside the top 10 last year at Siam Country Club. He's making sure all good. Oh, there's another one. Oh, wow, okay. The DIY job maybe not quite good enough. Do you think they had to go down the shops for one of those, or there's some spares around?
No, there's plenty, isn't there, in the greenkeeper's sheds. Go on, push a bit harder.
It's like trying to put the light bulbs in, isn't it?
Yeah, how many people does it take to change a light bulb?
how many referees to change a lantern? Looking to bounce back after the drop at 12.
Couple of inches from right to left here for a 3.
Well, she made her only bogey of the day. She responded with 3 birdies in a row. Wow. Well done. Nagasawa there at 15.
And this is the part of the golf course that starts to get exposed because it is closer to the coastline. We can see there that the wind might have even affected her putting stroke. So we need to keep an eye out for that on the latter holes.
Yeah, it's interesting hearing from the players, you know, how they have to tackle, like Ariana being at school, so she gets home, and then from 3:30 after getting from school all the way through to 7 o'clock, she practices every day, does fitness training a couple of times a week. At the weekend, we'll play 9 or 18 holes. It's you've got to squeeze in the studies as well as your golf.
Our leader, 12th tee box, 178 yards. It's the distance, however, it's a long iron or even a hybrid for these players today. Back to a totally opposite hole. It might be a par 3, but the way it's playing, 112 yards straight downwind. So one of them playing the best part of 200 yards, which is the 12th, and this one playing 100 yards downwind. Just chip a wedge.
Yeah, yesterday it was actually playing 100 yards, wasn't it, in terms of the yardage. Today, with the strength of the wind, maybe the same club.
And just look at the way that the green rolls across. It's very wide from left to right. It's 50 yards wide from left to right, and it's only 24 from front to back. So there's so many pin positions that you can have on this hole.
There's actually 2 tee options as well. You can see where that golf cart is right now. There's another tee up there, and at the weekend, that's where they're going to tee off, and they're going to have the lantern positions
Very good.
over on the other side of the green. So they'll be firing from their left to right, whereas today it's from their right to left.
I have noticed on the information that we got sent from the RNA that it says pin positions. I'd like them maybe to change that to lantern positions for the weekend.
And computer says no. Yeah, some big wins. She won the Korean Women's Amateur. She won the World Junior Championships, as you mentioned, in Canada. She was part of team and individual glory at the Queen Sirikit Cup, which is one of the big events of the year. That win in Canada, by the way, that she got at the World Juniors means we mentioned teeing up at Anwar in a month. She's also got an exemption into the CKPC Women's Open, basically the Canadian Open on the LPGA Tour as well. So calendar has filled nicely. Look at that. Look at that. Delicious shot from Sumino. So smooth.
a ball striking masterclass. Double breaker just caught her out there. Just a double check of that wind direction. It's down from the left-hand side here, and you can see the lightness of the grass around the lantern. If you do pitch on that, it's downhill and down grain, so it could fly through the back. So the sensible shot is to just leave it maybe 5 yards short of the pitching area of the full yardage, so it doesn't skip through. That one did. It's a very hard landing spot in general.
Tough part, this one, up the slope and then come down again. Judged really nicely, actually. It's well played. Inez Ung playing in her 5th Women's Amateur Asia Pacific, and that is nice. Back-to-back birdies to start the back 9 for the Singaporean.
Yeah, 3 over through 6, and might have been wondering, am I going to need to be looking at the cut? But now looking up towards the top of the leaderboard. Signature hole here, the 16th hole, Fujimoto. Inches away. It's like, give me something, please. I've battled out here for 3.5 hours. How's that one not dropped? And it has been a battle, hasn't it? Look at that start. 3 over through 3 holes.
Well, it's great to be here at Hoi An Shores, which is leading the way for women in golf. Yeah, that's because Hoi An Shores here on the east coast of Vietnam boasts a 44% female greenkeeping team. That's 26 women in a 59 strong workforce. It's a really progressive step in golf course maintenance. They are operating big machines and they're having a lot of fun, as their smiling faces show. And the golf course is presented in wonderful condition as well, and it's all part of the bigger picture in the R&A's Women's Golf Charter, advocating for female representation in all aspects of the sport. Great to see, Sophie.
It is. It's about having balance at the end of the day, and you bring in so many more ideas when you've got men and women working together.
Get in the hole. Yeah, seeing some terrific shot making at times today.
Leon Higo here on 14. Well, the par 3 specialist walks off with just a par, but like we've mentioned, look at that, 5 under for the back 9, but she's under par for the par 3s, and when there's 5 of them on the golf course, that is why she is at -5 and close to the top of this leaderboard.
Just the one birdie today for Ariana Lau. Not to be, but the best opportunities coming up in a moment at this short par 3. She'll tap in and Sumino will be stepping in very shortly. Three under though, very much in touch.
Hong Soo-min with the most difficult of birdie tries on 12. Oh, it's not high enough, it's not hard enough. Oh, well, that just shows you, you know, the best player in the field. She's top of the leaderboard, and even she cannot negotiate that putt on 12. You will not be the first.
Well, she has a lengthy putt to stay at 9 under, whereas Sumino has a fairly short one here to try and move to -8.
And her proximity to the hole today, you wouldn't know it's windy. That's the biggest compliment you could give. It's like a still day. When the wind blows, it's another tangible to think about, and often the ball will get further away from the hole because of that. So 6 feet downhill, right to left.
Going at a rate of 1 birdie every 2 holes today. Number 7 on the card for Sumino. And maybe, given what's happening to Hong Soo-min over at the 12th, she may well be in a share of the lead very soon.
That control, when it hits the green, it stops. Many players rolled through the back.
So here is Soo-min's par putt. So there you go, back to a 4-way tie for the lead we go. 8 under the mark once more.
First bogey of the day. The hardest hole on the golf course finds another victim.
Let's keep the Korean theme going.
Just scare the hole here. Maybe a little bit bold, had the line.
Yeah, she's trying to stay aggressive though. I mean, 6 birdies and an eagle yesterday.
Ariana Lau with the honour. Wind from left to right here. This dogleg from right to left. 363 yards. Wants to take it over the corner of that first bunker that we see.
Sophie, you would have teed it up in the women's amateur. How big a deal was that for you? And
oh, massive. I mean, I played in one back when it was the British, the stroke play event, which was, and that was at Nern, so that was great. But playing, the best I ever came was a semi-final at Gullen. And it's probably the most heartbroken I've ever been losing that, really, because the trophy is such a beautiful trophy. It's massive, the names that are on it. And it's something that you have with you for the rest of your life. Doesn't need driver. 290's the run out. It's like it was down the right-hand side. But also, Richard, the golf courses that you play. I mean, I was playing the best golf courses in the world, and sometimes at that age you don't really appreciate it. I do now. I very much do now. And it's match play. That's the form of golf that we all love, and we just don't play enough of it when you turn professional. With this win today, those bunkers down the left-hand side, easily carryable. That's why we saw O taking 3-wood, not driver. The flag today on that right-hand side, 32 on, 8 from the right. Very much a birdie hole, this 15th.
so Seojin Park to stay at 4 under par after an aggressive chip, and she's missed the one back. So she goes back to 3 under par. By the way, the other Seojin Park is at 4 under par. So this Seojin Park 17, her debut in this championship. The other one, who's 16, finished 22nd last year. And so Choi here at 13.
Coaxes that one in, gets herself to 3 under par, the 18-year-old. This is her 4th appearance. The New Zealander, I wonder if she'll be hanging around for next year.
Well, she's not missed a cut in any of the ones that she's played in. That's not going to happen here again. So there are the two Seojin Parks at the bottom of that page. 4 at the top: Roberts, Wong, Oh, and Sumin. And so Choi now just outside the top 10. Trio of Thai players there, including Shirai Swiwong, who was 3rd last year, and Pipisa Rubrong, who performed really nicely in the LPGA Tour event that was in Thailand just a couple of weeks ago. Really nice finish to the round today from Sarah Hammett. Birdied her final 3 holes for around a 69. Ko Kubarashi, the Japanese player out on the course right now, she's another who's already in the field for the Augusta National Women's Amateur. Harmony in there. Lovely to see all the different nationalities. The Cambodian putting together a really nice round. 4 under for the day, which is one of the best out there. So well played to Harmony.
16th hole. Back into some wind here, right to left. Tee shot required. Generous fairways here at Hoi An Shores.
Yeah, in a way, sometimes you can see players maybe lose concentration. You feel like it's a fairway you shouldn't miss, but look what's happened here. There's a big example, Sumino. I mean, this is in a rotten spot.
And this is, I'm going to take 3 wood, and like you say, switched off. Ball's above it. I think she'll be chipping this one out. This is a brave shot to take on. More so because we've got some waste bunkers that zip in. It causes like a little V. And she's got to carry that one on the right-hand side. It starts 50 short of the green and finishes at 20. I mean, if she's going at the green, she has to take it over those pine trees on the right-hand side. And with that lie...
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the game plan here is from the 16-year-old. Looks like she may be taking it on. Well, they say fortune favours the brave. That was brave from Sumino. I'm not sure where it's finished, though.
Up a hole to the par 3 17th. Fujimoto with this lengthy left to right birdie putt. Oh, well thought out and well executed.
Superbly done from Lau. Well, she's put it in a lovely spot here as Nian Higo out towards the Cham Islands in the distance.
Inside 100 yards, a 3/4 wedge, trying to control it, and does. Yingzhu, level par for her day, into the easier run, 13, 14 and 15 birdieable, and there's a good start.
I was mentioning the fight back from Manit Bra. Really, really impressive. 5 over par for the day through 2 holes, and that was for another birdie. Unfortunately, just to par, but she's 3 under since those opening 2 holes. And after missing the cut in her previous 3 attempts at the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific, she must have been thinking there early on, oh no, here we go again. So great credit to her. Back in business for Sumino. Well, she took it on. I think, have they found her ball?
I mean, it was tugged left, wasn't it? The ball was miles above her feet in that waste bunker, and the challenge was to take it over the pine trees that we now see that come out on that left-hand side of the screen, and she almost tugged it in the downswing, thinking, I don't want to go over it, and we're up on that mound there. And
the way they're pointing at the ball suggests it's not sitting too nicely.
Thing is, if it's plugged, you don't get a drop.
No. I think that's maybe what they're checking, whether there's anything they can do, but no, you just got to play it as it is. So first real headache for her today. I know she's dropped a couple of shots, but you know, a hole really, given her length, you know, you're thinking birdie.
Well, especially because of her playing partners. I mean, their driver wedged it on, and she's got taken 3-wood for safety and messed it up, zigzagged her way around this par 4 15th.
Thing is, I mean, she can take this on, try and squeeze it out, getting onto the putting surface, but there's every chance you could just leave it in there and give yourself an even worse lie. She took it on. She's going to take it on again. She's done very well. She may well escape with a par yet. So, problems for one of the 4 co-leaders. How beautiful a setting is that at 60?
Our overnight leader. Flag 31 on, 8 from the right-hand side for Park. As always, kind of leaked that against that right to left wind, hence why it came up short.
Not to be for Higo.
I mentioned how much fun she's been having out there with her local caddy.
First drop shot of the day came at 12 for Hong Sumino. Opportunity missed. Janeth Wong and Jazzy Roberts had their feet up now, a couple of hours, I'm sure, just refreshing the leaderboard, maybe watching some of the TV coverage. I want to think very satisfied with their day's work, with their rounds of 68 and 69.
This one has some movement on it. We can see there from the aim point that Sumino was producing there, and look at where she's setting this one up. This could be 3-4 feet from left to right. Imagine it like a clock face, and you're going to have it come in at 8 o'clock on that clock face. Par putt.
So bogey number 3 of this second round for Sumino. Means it's 3 players now at 8 under.
And that'll annoy her. That's an unforced error. You don't mind if you hit a bad shot, but it's when you've not thought about it and you've switched off.
Shu to get into red figures.
Meant that one. In the red. Thank you. And quite often as a player, you don't quite appreciate the ebbs and the flows of a golf course until you look at the stats. So there, she had a tough run around the turn, but so has everybody. Trying to make hay here on the easier holes. Lou from right to left for a birdie 3.
Just didn't break early enough, that putt for her.
Coming through the channel from left to right.
A couple of happy, well, look at that. There's a few of them out there enjoying themselves. Maybe come off the beach or heading to the beach.
Bit behind in that 3 ball, isn't he? The ref will be chasing soon. Catch up, get back into position.
Meanwhile,
one of the signature holes here at Hyannis Shores goes down that East Sea coastline. Par 4, 16th hole, 358 yards, plays into the wind from the right-hand side. Pin today, 31 on, 8 from the right, so the second shot will be very much into a stiff wind, and there is an option off the tee to take driver or 3-wood down the left-hand side. It's probably the club she wants to hit least right now. And just tweaked one down that right-hand side that's cost her. The waste bunker that we can see on that left-hand side of our screen is down the right for Sumin. It's 240 yards to reach that. So it wants to take it at the high-rise building in the distance. Likes that one. Got the Tiger Woods flick of the back foot.
on the green is Seojin Park. What a putt, what a moment for the overnight leader. Just what she needed. A rare birdie at 16.
Never even flinched with the dogs that walked past on the fairway there. Her playing partners saw it, but Ariana did not.
There they are. Do they not know their etiquette? No, they're in a hurry, aren't they, to get to the beach? Well, what a putt from Seojin Park, and what's been an up and down day for her. Gets her back to 4 under par for this championship. Back inside the top 10. Three-way tie at the top at the moment as we approach the halfway stage. Yeah, terrific effort today. You can see Ajin Sung with a 67, but 4 under par from Harmony Yin. Has got her right in amongst it now in a tie for 20th, and very much safe from, it seems, for making the cut. The only player in the field representing Cambodia. Played last year, missed the cut, but looks like she's going to be around for the weekend this time around. Vivian Liu, you can see there, she's making her 5th appearance in this women's Amed Asia Pacific. And Sabrina Wong, do you remember her from last year? The Hong Kong player who's based in Scotland, 13 years of age, her 2nd appearance, and at the moment, the right side of the cut line as well. That's a lovely story. cut line right now is exactly at 4 over par. That could turn out very nice.
Through the back on the par 3 17th. Nagasawa just down the hill now, come on.
Short par 3 14th.
Downwind, gap wedge.
$139 yards today, this 17th.
Back into a left to right wind.
Well, in the sand again, Seojin Park. It must be at least half a dozen times today.
Leon Higo, second shot into the 16th hole, playing half a shot over its par, back into the wind. Safely finds the putting surface. This is the most exposed part of the golf course at Hoyana Shores, down that East Sea, and the wind, the strength of it goes up at least a club. We're already playing 2 club wind.
It's a lovely little sound though, isn't it? The waves reaching the shore.
Because the flag is on the right-hand side, you're playing more into this wind, so that the club switch there, it's like just take one more. It's so much stronger here, and that's the joy of having a local caddy. They know, I know the pin is back right, but you've got to hit a powerful shot to get back there.
Like that.
Good caddying, good shot. Well done, Mum. $100 yards left to the front edge here on 16. Flag 31 on, there's 5 over it. Mid-iron here for Sumino.
Go back a hole to 15 and Soy Choi. That's really well thought out. #1 amateur from New Zealand, ranked 58th in the world, plays in her first year at Pepperdine University in California. Robbed.
Rejection. Oh, you can see the grain on the right-hand side of the cup there, the rough edge, and that just yanked the ball across. A 180 spin out. Just feels like there's a little bit in the round there where it'd be easy to get frustrated. She'd have the lead at 10 under par, and things are just not quite going her way now for Hong Sun-min.
No, but it's a lovely position to be in, isn't it? Amongst the trio at the top. 66 is the best score of the day, and that may well be the case come the end of day 2. We had a 64 yesterday from Seojin Park, not that one, the one that was on the first page. Plenty of Koreans in the mix, isn't there? Shu misses out on the chance of another birdie. 1 over par for the day. Well, that approach deserves the birdie. Let's see if it gets its reward.
On he go. Moving from left to right now. Oh, she had the line. It's just highlighting there the lovely undulations that you see and what these players have to think about and manoeuvre around. Oh, it's a good putt, and it's the stress-free of those long putts. You don't want to be putting your ball marker back down again and standing over 4 or 5 footers. Oh, fried egg, plugged ball here. Not bad, really. I mean, there's no doubt these players are going to be experiencing conditions that they've never have done now. I mean, that skyline there looks like we are on the coast of Scotland. Sumino has never played links golf before. She's doing all right.
She's doing pretty good, yeah. Yeah, different type of grass that, you know, she would be used to in Korea as well on these greens, which are massive and undulating. You know, very used to, I mean, traditionally playing mountain courses rather than seaside courses in Korea. Although, you know, you go to some of the islands in Korea, Jeju Island, for example, gets very windy there. She's doing all right, though. She continues this round of a birdie every 2 holes. Number 8 of the day comes at 16. And back into a share of the lead she goes.
I had to manoeuvre over this hump and then break from left to right. I think she thought she'd hit this too hard. But oh no, a little significant fist pump there. And having been on this course now for 5 days, you get the feeling that she knows how good a round this is. And she's creating some chances, but she's taking them as well. You're going to come off the course and think, yeah, that was one of the best rounds I've ever had.
Well, given her length, you would think 18 is a really big birdie opportunity for her. Allowed to match her with a 3 here. 8 birdies on the card for O. Just the 1 so far today for the player from Hong Kong. How frustrating must it be watching your playing partner knock in so many?
The cup is full. That's sometimes what you think.
And Lei Chuk, who is leading the charge for the players from Vietnam. And she was one of those that went to the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific Academy late in last year.
Welcome to the cutting edge of women's golf development. The R&A Women's Amateur Asia Pacific Development Academy is a high-performance camp designed to unlock the full potential of 14 elite players. From across Asia's developing golfing nations, they've come to Thailand to train with the best.
This is certainly an advantage for us just because we have learned so much from this academy, and with those lessons we can grow a lot as a person and as a player.
I feel very grateful actually that I get to meet so many girls, and the coaches have taught me so much throughout this week.
Supported by Samsung, this initiative provides a unique opportunity to learn from world-class coaches and specialists in sports science, psychology and nutrition. The goal? To prepare them for the challenges ahead, including the 2025 Women's Amateur Asia Pacific Championship.
We obviously have many countries that have, I guess, highly developed programs, but bringing some of the, I guess, the coaching information, the technology, the resources that the RNA have been able to put together is really going to help certainly our next level of countries really get to the, I guess, the highest level.
I really like how these 13 girls this week who flew from different corners of the world, the younger ones look up to the more senior, more talented players, and it could be vice versa. So I think they really learn from each other.
Yeah, the first cohorts looked like they enjoyed themselves there. That was at Siam Country Club in Thailand. That took place in December. Well, we missed the first putt that rolled past in the end. Not a bad bogey for Seo-Jin Park, who continues her up and down day.
5 par 3s on this golf course. It's a par 71. This one, the final one, the signature hole, 17th, 139 yards, a horseshoe green. Flag 30 on, 9 from the right-hand side. And those bunkers that just sit down the right, very much like Pebble Beach. And if you go in them, they're small. They're not. We don't have rakes at the moment as well, so a couple of footprints. You really do not want to be there. So 139 yards, but with this wind, it's at least 150.
Safely on board for Seo-Jin Park. Sorry, for Sumino.
You'd like to flight this one down. Club up, play it off the back foot, and just have a tailed follow through. Higo has flushed it. That would have looked so good in the air. It's just the difference in flight windows. You saw O's go higher, slightly open club face, and quite get all of it. And then Leon's there, just nailed through that wind. Ariana has a club choice really to think about right now.
Well, no one there you'd feel in birdie territory. Been a really interesting day. Not an easy day out on Hoi-An shores, but we've still seen some wonderful golf. And some of it has certainly come from Hong Soo-min.
Take this one down from left to right. Oh, and hit it. Just signs of getting tired out there. These players were teeing it up and getting the wind from the very, very first hole today.
Yeah, we had 4 bogey-free rounds yesterday. There's only been 1 so far today. In fact, there will only be 1 because nobody out of the course is bogey-free. That is a wonderful approach from Shu. Yeah, a much tougher day. 34 players breaking par yesterday. 64 the low score. There is Yang with that bogey-free 66, the standout performance so far, though Sumino may yet top that. She is at 5 under for her round on this par 71. Kalpatanaskun with a round of 70, so very much inside the top 10 for the Thai player, who we saw a fair bit of yesterday. First time in Vietnam hosting this championship. Golf course that was built on the side of a former fish farm, but it's set on this spectacular coastline. This unspoiled natural terrain with these rolling fairways. It's a wonderful setting for an event that is already very much established in the amateur game.
Look at it, it's a course that you would love to tee it up on, and they've got 4 rounds.
Inez Ung, another one missing out on an opportunity. Pity.
Sumin hit wedge into here, right to left birdie putt. Into the cup. Now this is where the run started yesterday. She birdied 16, 17 and 18. It's on. We could be 4 in a row now.
2 shots clear.
Oh, hello. How about that from Higo?
Coming from the other side, Ariana Lau.
There's been just 9 birdies on this 17th hole today. It's only 139 yards, but that wind direction into from right to left and a pin that they're scared of going long of just meant that so many players have left themselves in and around that area.
Well, her fellow Korean teammate has just stretched away a little bit with those back-to-back birdies at 15 and 16. One of these putts that you can't get too greedy with.
Especially because, you know, you've got the easiest hole on the golf course to come in 18, so you want to be composed and switched on for that, not angry at a 3-putt. This one from right to left can take it at the ball marker.
Yeah, that's really nicely done. Good pace from Sumino. Simplest of 3s in the end. Here's the hole that she'll be facing next, the 18th. Sophie Han.
A round of 68. 3 under par for her last 6 holes.
Yeah, had a mixed 2024 Sophie Han, who we've seen perform well in this championship before. Won a pro event and then admitted she lost her confidence on the course, but got things back in shape. Kurabayashi not quite judging that as she would have liked.
There's the 17-year-old Japanese player also finishing with a birdie there, Nagasawa.
Yeah, so she's nicely placed, the Japan Girls Junior Champion, heading into the weekend, 2 under par. Certainly in touching distance. I know Sumino is 8 shots ahead at 10 under, but a lot of golf still to be played.
Now this par 5, 18th hole, playing 546 yards. The wind from right to left. That flag, 27 on, 6 from the right. Just caught that waste bunker that sits down the spine of this fairway. You've got to be left or right of it. And the carry of it is all the way to the green edge. Fairway wood for Park. Just turned it a smidgen. Yeah. That's all right though. Better than being in the sand at the front and having a 60-yard bunker shot. Just made sure, didn't she? Top of the backswing, just turned that face in just to make sure she got it there.
Just gone that awkward distance pass for Inezung. Now here is this closing hole. They may push the tee up here at some point this weekend.
Well, with the wind direction at the minute, Richard, it's almost like it is pushed up. It weaves around some bunkers. You just find your way into between those waste bunkers, and with it being downwind today, unless you find a bunker off the tee, you are almost certainly going for it. 546 yards downwind from the right-hand side. And there's a saddle that sits in the middle of this green. The flag was on the left of it yesterday, it's on the right-hand side of it today. So the bunker on the right-hand side starts at 256 yards, and same could be said for the one on the left, so it does narrow in where Sumino's driver will finish.
Well, she looks pretty happy with it, but she won't be happy with where it's gone.
That will be a layup. She's got 215 yards front edge and that steep wall in front of her, and she won't be able to see it finish because of the undulation of these fairways. She'll be thinking, what's a 264 run out on that line? That should be fine, but there was an extra 10% in that one. Lau also with driver.
To our leader, who is on a bit of a roll. 9 under par off the back of that birdie at 15. And every chance she might add another at 16. First time playing this Women's Amateur Asia Pacific, the 18-year-old.
Australia's Leon Higo liked that one. And it's just the difference with the length off the tee. Sumino has those bunkers on her mind, whereas her two playing partners are like, I can stand there and hit it as hard as I like and it'll still be fine. I mean, that tee shot's 250 yards. It's a good tee shot. It just takes out all the trouble that O is in, because she's hitting it a good 20 yards longer.
Yeah, far from the guaranteed birdie she was hoping for. At the moment, one behind her compatriot, Hong Soo-min. All these players within 7 of the lead. Yeah, the cut line at the moment still on the mark of 4 over par. It's the top 50 in ties that make it through to the final 2 days, and 4 over par is exactly tied 50th right now. So the players on that mark will be certainly hoping that is the case. And good to see a Vietnamese representation amongst the top 40 there in An Le Chuk, coming down the 18th. Difficult day for her, 5 over, but yesterday gave her the foundation to push on and try and have the best ever finish from a player from Vietnam. 13-year-old Sabrina Wong having a good day, 1 under for her round. Grace Quintanilla, the player from the Philippines, we watched a bit of yesterday, also 1 under today.
So Jim Park found the par 5 into, hit 5 wood to this left-hand side of the green. So we'll have to negotiate a steep spine that will act as a speed bump. We'll go up and over and then drop down. Lining it up down this left-hand side, almost aiming at the edge of the green here. How do you stop this one? For eagle though.
Out in front by 1. Now she'd love to stretch that to 2 here for Soo-min. Nonchalantly done. Just looks so confident over those putts. Up to 10 under par now, Hong Soo-min. There's a lovely approach in, but it's a pretty quick putt.
Look how still she keeps her head and body, waits for the ball, waits for the noise, and that is back-to-back birdies to get herself to 10 under par.
.67 yesterday, and so choice of 1 over for her round today. This is over at the 18th. Disappointing day for Ching Soo Chen. 1 under par yesterday. Birdie finish, mind you.
Just a touch of right to left in this one.
Been a few famous co's, hasn't there? Jin Young and Lydia. Pity, no birdie to finish for Anne Lechuk, but goal number 1 of the week was to make the cut. She can tick that box. The 17-year-old, the Vietnam women's national champion, with a couple of double bogeys on the card, but safely in at 1 over. Interesting choice of club, this one.
Hybrid.
What?
Whoa, that wasn't on. I mean, the club was enough to get to the front edge, but that steep slope.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't terrific game management, was it really? Here's the player who was leading heading into this second round, Seojin Park. Six bogeys on the card, but she finishes with her 4th birdie of the day. Rather, I should say 5th birdie of the day, and 4 under par. Keeps her hopes alive.
And on a 72-hole tournament, you might have a dodgy 9 holes, and she's hoping that that was hers in the opening 9 today. The back 9, she looked a lot more settled. In a good spot heading to the weekend. Here's our leader. Into the wind. Par 3.
Well, a rare missed green from Sumin. I'm still a little baffled by the choice of club at 18 from Sumino.
I am. I was shocked to see a hybrid in her hand there. I mean, I had maybe 3 yards, 4 yards shy of the wall of the bunker.
Yeah.
It was a layup, but pressing. I think that was a poor decision. I'd like to caddy to have stepped in there. She's a very aggressive player.
Yeah, she is, and you can notice there the other Seojin Park, by the way, has got herself up to 5 under par now. So all these players amongst the contenders for what is the 7th staging of this Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. Cambodia's finest, Harmony Yin, continuing to put together a very nice round of golf. There is Anne Lechuk, who, like Manit Bra, maybe had higher hopes at the start of the day, but for Manit Bra, after 3 previous attempts, it's the first time making the cut for her as well, so mission achieved there. Watch out for Sabrina Wong in years to come. Only 13 years of age. That's an impressive 70 from her today. Sophie, 13, where was your golf game at?
I was playing off a 9 handicap. I was not shooting 70, maybe net 70.
Yeah, it's impressive, isn't it? And you see all the different flags there, don't you, down the left of your screen, from the UAE and Sri Lanka, Dalawata. Just outside the mark, it looks like it's 6 over par, but wonderful experience. And we're seeing players like Faith Wee, who's come back from Cambodia, you know, mentioning Harmony Yin there as well. You know, they get that experience. Sabrina Wong missed the cut last year. She's back, made the cut this year. It's you know, doesn't have to be straight away hitting the ground running.
No, and it's your own goals, isn't it? It's the small wins and the experience of coming to an event like this. It's on television. The golf course is a high end, as is the players. And right, we're on the 4th shot here now for Sumino. Left off the tee, tried to go for the green, didn't manage it, left herself in the bunker, and now has hit it into another one.
She was close to finding that bunker, but it's turned out well. What a shot in that is.
She's just showing that she is 16 years old right now.
I tell you what,
going
though,
for everything.
It's a fun watch, though, isn't it? Oh, look at that facial reaction as well. She wasn't sure if that was flying into that back bunker. All good now. But she can't make the birdie that would get her into the final group. She'll be in the penultimate group tomorrow. They'll be back out in 3 balls. So Jazzy Roberts and Janeth Wong look safe for that.
Has to find the back level here. Oh, does just. There he go.
There's only been 4 eagles at this 18th this week. They all came yesterday, and one of them came from Ariana Lau. Playing it as a 3-shotter today.
Flag is 27 yards on. 20 yards carries it to that back level.
Well, Mum's done her job as well. Ariana will be inside that top 20 heading into the weekend. How close to the leader? Well, it depends how Hong Soo-min finishes this round. So work cut out here at 17.
We'll have to negotiate the sprinklers, carry it long of them. Oh, pitched it into the upslope. That was unlucky there. I thought it would take some energy out of that pitch.
Leading goal there on the green. Won a Ladies European Tour event, hasn't she?
Yeah, won the Danish Open in 1996, but since gone back to amateur golf and won the Seniors US Open and the Seniors Amateur.
That was a good putt.
That's a golfing career. You start as an amateur, middle as a pro, and then come back as an amateur.
'18th green with what has been a really good 3-ball. All 3 players are in the mix. And there's no doubt who has produced the most fireworks in this 3-ball. It's been Sumino with 8 birdies to her name. There's only been 3 between the other 2.
The other 2 have had the day that you would probably expect going out in the afternoon on a links course. There's going to be the odd birdie, but also some drop shots as the wind has picked up. It's harder to get close to the hole locations. This pitch-in just didn't carry it far enough, so hit into the bank and it's come back to her. So I want to roll this one up down the right-hand side of the flag here.
Wonderful. Well, she eagled this hole yesterday. It's an unlikely birdie today. And just the finish Ariana Lau was looking for. She's waited a long time for that birdie.
She's bogeyed 3 par 5s today. And this is how you get your own back. From downtown, nowhere else. Good fight back.
That gets her to 4 under par for the championship. Leon Higo would love a little bit of that as well.
He's under par for her back 9. This to get to 2 under for those 9 holes. Oh, just wiggled the other way on her.
But another very good performance. 72 to follow up from that 65, and she'll still feel she's got an opportunity. 16th green with Shu.
Downhill, right to left. It's the most timid we've seen her today. She's been the one that's been going after her putts and approach shots.
Yeah, playing with Soo-min, who's got that par putt to come. Testy one, as is this for Sumino, and this would be the unlikeliest of pars should she manage to negotiated.
Well, she missed a heavily braking left to right putt for par on 15, and she's got not quite as much break on this one. It still will come from left to right. It hasn't touched the green grass until now.
This to match the low score of the day. Disappointing end to a sparkling Friday on the Vietnamese coast from Sumino. A 67. It may be a 6 at the end, but there was enough in there to show the talent that she is.
More than enough. 16 years old, first time playing links golf.
She is definitely one of this year's contenders. It's a question of how far back she will be. Back at 7 under, which means she's 3 behind her compatriot. But par 3s, it just cost her a little bit. A couple of 4s on the back 9 at the 2 of the 3 par 3s coming home.
They are the hardest of the holes, though. And that tee shot, a little bit like Leon Higo, just flushed it through the wind. It's hard to get annoyed with yourself when you hit a good one.
Well, there is Higo in that share of 6th place with Seojin Park, the one that's ranked 60th in the world. The other Seojin Park at the bottom of your page there is ranked 281st, but it's Hong Soo-min leading the way at 9 under despite that drop shot. Some players stood out on the course like Anna Iwanaga and Eun So Choi at 3 under par. Elaine Wijaja, good performance from the Indonesian today. Anything in the 60s out there is good progress. And the 18-year-old who is at the University of Florida amongst those in the mix. Hannah Reeves putting together a round of 70 today.
Iwanga, 7 iron into a back right pin on 17. Well, we haven't seen too many birdies here. We could be seeing one in a few moments. Just brave enough to take it on, play it all the way back there.
Oh, that is beautifully done by Ren. 15-year-old, the China amateur champion. Let's hear from one of the players who'll be very satisfied with their 2 days' work. Vietnam's finest, An Lê Chuk.
So, Anne, maybe not quite the second round you were hoping for, but still in a great position to advance for the weekend. How much are you enjoying this opportunity to have the championship in your home country?
Actually, today I played not really good in the pretty challenging condition. So I was a little off because the wind is strong and I'm not really confident in the weather. So if tomorrow I have to play in the afternoon, I think I would try my best to control my ball trajectory, try my best to play to get used to the condition. Yeah, I would try, yeah.
And you were a part of the inaugural WAAP Academy. Can you tell us about that experience?
Academy? Academy gives me a lot of lessons and, they teach us a lot like how to play in these conditions, and a lot of more things. Like they just help us a lot to get to know more about this sport, even a mentality, not even in the sport. And yeah, we just get to learn a lot of things that help us a lot in the future.
And now that you have made the cut, which is one of your goals earlier this week, what's the plan for moving day tomorrow?
I think I would just try to do better than today, which is hitting more good shots, hitting more fairways. I didn't hit quite that good driving today, to get in a good position so I could put myself in it, like to make myself confident.
So there's still a little daylight left. What do you plan to do? How are you going to make yourself hit better shots tomorrow in the practice range?
That's a hard one. I think my swing is not really good today, but I think I was just trying to kind of like find my feel again, and get used to with the conditions, so I would not get in like hard places. Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck to you, and go get them tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you.
Virada Neerapatpong asking the questions. I mean, a little harsh on herself that she did play that back 9 in 1 under, Anne.
Well, you come off the golf course and you're always thinking, what if? But I thought she made a great point then about getting your feel back, because that's what the wind does to you. It knocks you off course.
Is that going to get there? It's trying. It is going to get there. Still got a good look at birdie to come. Choi at 18. Meanwhile, over at 17 after that lovely tee shot. Iwanaga doesn't cash in. It's lovely to hear from the players, and you know, she was pensive, didn't, you know, rush into her answers there as well.
I liked it. They're clearly doing some media training as well on these academy ventures.
Kobayashi, who's one of 5 players in the top 50 starting the week in the women's amateur rankings. And back-to-back 71s for her.
Good rounds, but she's got that look, and the sense of what we've watched is that she left a couple out there, so look for an under par weekend from her.
Well, she's going to keep her run going. And so Choi, this is her 4th women's amateur Asia Pacific. She's never missed a cut, never finished worse than 35th actually. And this to get back to where she started today at 4 under par, which would put her into the top 10.
Excellent 2-putt there, finishing with a birdie. We're going to Royal Wellington Golf Club next year in the North Island of New Zealand. Chris Choi fancies 5 in a row.
I'm sure she does. Winner of the New Zealand Amateur and the New Zealand Stroke Play last year. Something not even Lydia Ko managed to do in the same year.
Well, if you have half the career of Lydia, I think you'll be happy.
And that birdie guarantees Yi Jia Ren making the cut. So the China Amateur champion, disappointing 75, but safely in for the weekend. Player they have real high hopes of in China. So the leader has been waiting patiently.
Has grabbed herself a hybrid here. Wants to look towards the TV tower. It's all carry to this front edge. There's a huge waste bunker that starts at 120 yards and finishes right at the point of it, so you want to miss it down the right. It's not the easiest of two putts there. If you took it down that right hand side, you'd have found the correct half, but she is on this putting surface for eagle. Wind down from right to left, also with hybrid. Went for a high cut and just didn't quite strike it.
Well, safely on the dance floor in 2 for Hong Soo-min, leading the way at 9 under. 2 putts, and she will have a 2-shot lead to head into the weekend here. Ahead of Jazzy Roberts, the Australian, putting together a fine 68 today. Janeeth Wong birdieing 3 of her last 4 holes. The Malaysian joining her at 8 under par with that round of 69. 8 birdies in that 67 from Sumino, and the 14-year-old from Chinese Taipei, Jian Lin, making up that top 5. Good performance today from the other Seojin Park. These players all inside the top 20 still have their hopes high of winning this Women's Amateur Asia Pacific of 2025 in Vietnam. So many players under par yesterday, less of those red figures down that right-hand column today. And we will be watching Hong Soo-min finishing off this second round as we look at all the players who have made it comfortably inside the cut, which is looking as if it's going to fall on that mark exactly, a 4 over par. Top 50 and tied is the mark to beat. So Vivian Liu in her 5th Women's Amateur Asia Pacific appearance is in. Maybe a surprise there, Mamika Shinch today with a 75 is going to miss the cut. So there's the players just the wrong side of the cut line. But I'm sure they'll be sticking around to cheer on their compatriots and the other players who will be contending this weekend.
Mamika is going to caddy. She's going to caddy for Tori over the weekend. So just another amateur thing that that's what it's all about, isn't it? You come as a team and you're helping each other out. Yeah, you've missed the cut by 1, it's been disappointing, but you still want to go out there and support your friends and teammates.
This impressive clubhouse. It's hard to miss wherever you are on the golf course. Just pacing this one out, shoot.
It was a lot. Well, it is a lot harder pin to get close to today than yesterday, hence why we've not seen the eagles. It's on the right-hand side, which means the second shot, because the wind is from right to left with the second shot, it moves the ball away from the flag, and she tried to hit a cut and it just ballooned into the air. So with a lob wedge here, she's kind of got 2 options. She can take it all the way and land it on the top ridge. It's got 7 yards from the step that she needs to carry it onto, and that lantern that we see. And there's a backstop long left of it as well. so close to being excellent. Smooth pitch shot there. She knows nearly.
Well, all eyes on Sumino here. You know, whereas Sumino was, you know, aggressive and at times spectacular, it's been rather steadier and efficient from Sumino.
She birdied 18 yesterday to finish with 3 in a row. Now has got, it's a tricky eagle putt. It's miles from left to right.
And she said yesterday is, you know, if there was a part of the game where she just lacked a little bit of confidence, she said she did struggle a little bit with the putting. But we've seen her being very confident on the green. She looks like she's mastered them fairly quickly.
This is an angle, isn't it? Drop it down the slide, aim towards the bunker, flirt with the fringe. It's hard to almost hit it firm enough to start with before it grabs that slope.
Well, not guaranteeing the birdie, but should be good enough. Well, she'll be finishing off in a moment. Her compatriot finished off about 15 minutes ago. Excellent 67 from Sumino, talking with Verada.
4 under par in very difficult conditions this afternoon. What were you able to manage so well out there today?
오늘 이렇게 어려운 그 환경에서 4언더를 지금 기록을 했는데 어떻게 됐는지 말씀 한번 해주세요.
일단 오늘 바람이 많이 부는 상황이어서 더 집중이 잘 됐던 것 같고 또 기회가 왔을 때 기회를 잘 잡을 수 있어서 이렇게 좋은 스코어를 만들 수 있었던 것 같아요.
The condition was pretty much same as the first round, but because of the strong wind, I can do focused on my game rather than the first round, which did really work well today, and also a lot of opportunities made to birdie, so that's the reason I can have a 4 under today.
You said in an interview that last year the nerves got you a little bit, representing Korea for the first time, and now fast forward 1 year later, how are you feeling playing for your country and what have you learned?
작년에 국가대표로 처음 참석했을 때는 좀 많이 떨렸다라고 했었었는데 올해는 이제 2년 차고 지금 2번 참석인데 올해는 지금 이 대회 참석하는 지금 현재 기분은 어떤지 말씀해 주세요.
일단 작년보다 제가 다른 해외 시합에서도 경험을 많이 해봤고 해서 작년보다 좀 덜 떨리고 긴장되긴 했지만 그래도 뭔가 또 작년과는 좀 새로운 느낌으로 좀 이번 대회에 나올 때 많이 설렜던 것 같아요.
Yes, I still remember the feeling that I had last year because everything was new as a national team squad, and also through the last year, not only to participate in the international tournament, but also some professional opportunity made me feel comfortable and confident on my game.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by to talk to us and best of luck on the weekend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, she has come a long way in the last 12 months, both on and off the course. Shu hoping for a birdie finish.
Yes, please, look how much that means to her. Getting it rounded under par in tricky afternoon conditions.
Yeah, well done. Finishes at 3 under par, which is inside the top 20. This for another birdie for the leader, and it's one to finish a very good day. 67, only one player scored better than that off the back of a super 65 on day one, and it's the 18-year-old Korean on her women's amateur Asia Pacific debut who will be the one to catch over the weekend.
Has only made 3 bogeys in her opening 36 holes. The only player to get to -10.
Yeah, Hong Soo-min setting the pace then at 10 under par. 2 clear of Jazzy Roberts and Janeeth Wong. They'll all go out tomorrow for the 3rd round. Sumino, we just heard from her, certainly one of the danger women to those leaders over the weekend. But all these players will feel, Sophie, won't they, at 3 under par or better, that why not me?
Absolutely, and they're getting so much more used to the golf course. It's a new golf course to everybody, the wind conditions, and now they're in the tournament. Now we've made the cut, the first tick box has been made. How high can we finish? I think tomorrow's an important day, because obviously on the final day you're going to be thinking, what if I can get the ticket to the AIG Women's Open, the other 2 majors? And that's when the nerves come. So tomorrow it's about freeing yourself up and trying to move up that leaderboard.
So many incentives, 93 players starting the day with hopes of being the champion. Maybe the candidates have become a little bit fewer. It's going to be a tasty weekend. We can't wait for you to join us. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.